We ruined a really great intro with no sound on it. Now they hear everybody. All right, cool.
Yeah.
So anyway, look, let's backtrack just a quick second. Paul jumped in a little bit early. I did a super cool intro, Emmy award-winning style. He's here to talk to us about the new 12 Stone stuff that's coming up. They got Skid Mills recording for him. Skid Mills, if you've never heard that name before, go look it up. Tons of hits that guy's produced. Justin Reimer was a former member of 12 Stones, and he's recording their new stuff now. Paul, take it away.
Yeah, we're working on a new series of songs. We're going to basically do one song at a time and put them all out, kind of waterfall it out there. It's been cool to be able to write these songs now that I live in Nashville. Skid lives right down the street from me. He's a just world-class producer, great guy all around. Justin's in Memphis right up the road, and the rest of my guys are back in Louisiana. So we were able to use technology like this to communicate and make new music. And it's been a really cool process to just be here. I built a home studio in my little place here in Nashville. It's able for me to write and then send the ideas out and then get everybody's collective feedback and stuff. So just looking forward to it, man. We got a lot of good things going. I basically rebuilding 12 Stones, the business part of it from scratch. We are no more record label. We're doing everything independently, everything from websites to merchandise to you name it. We are back in control of it all, so feels good.
Paul, can you speak on that, because y'all came out, I know at least in the early 2000s, I don't remember specifically when, but you caught the end of the big record label style deal, right? And now it's totally different. Is that right?
Yeah, we came out in 2001, and we were kind of at the last of the big deal era before they started doing all the 360 deals and kind of taking control of everything. We were with Wind Up Records, who had a couple little small no-name bands like Creed and Evan and
Never heard of them.
Yeah, exactly right. You and everybody else. But we were with them for a long time. Had a great relationship with them. Diana Meltzer was the person that fought everyone to sign us. Without her, we wouldn't be anywhere. I mean, it's been 20 years now, and we're working on album number 7. So it's from that point, we took some time and we weren't sure what we were going to do. Then we signed another record deal, did one album there. Then after that, we were convinced we were done and signed another record deal, did one album there. And then now we're free and clear. And I was approached by Skid. He asked if we want to record another album and, work together. And I was like, well, we don't have a record label. And he's like, that's even better. So now I've basically been, my girlfriend's here in Nashville going to school for audio engineering and like post-production and stuff like that. So I've been kind of tagging on to her Zoom classes, trying to learn a little bit of the business myself. And, it's easy to be an artist when you have a bunch of people, management and labels and stuff that do all the behind the scenes stuff. But now trying to learn all that and do it on my own has been quite the experience to, figure out how to even do half the stuff that was always done for us. So
that's right. Yeah, I think technology has definitely democratized, the business a lot. And it's forced people, like you're saying, man, you got to wear all the hats now, really, right? I mean, you got to be the business savvy guy, the manager, the set up the production of everything, the merchandising, the website. Like, it's a lot of work, but I guess that's really the only way nowadays to make any money out of it, right? Because if there's too many hands in the pot, I don't think the excess is quite there anymore. And that's before you even get into what COVID's going to do.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's been difficult because it was, like I said, it's always easy to be the artist. If my job, back in my partying days, I would just get drunk and go on stage and now I've been sober for almost 2 years, and it's sobering on so many different levels to go from just the guy that makes weird faces and screams a lot on stage to having meetings all day long and coming up with designs and templates and budgets. I mean, I don't even budget myself, so let alone trying to do it for businesses has been a challenge.
So I first, and that was one of the topics I was going to get on, I wanted to congratulate you on your sobriety.
Thank you.
So that's a challenge upon itself, much less trying to make a new album on top of all of that. But I know you got a show coming up in New Orleans at Southport on September 4th.
Yeah.
Scary Lane and Acadia.
Yeah, Katie, a good friends of ours. We've played a lot of shows with them. I don't know the Scary Lang band, but they're going to be there rocking out with us. So, get there early and check out. Hopefully, COVID doesn't keep going backwards instead of forwards. Obviously, we want to make sure that we have all of our fans and family and friends' best interest and health in mind before we just, go and jump on a stage and cause commotion. So, hopefully everything gets back under control and we can have a good, safe, loud show. This is my therapy. This is how I cope with stresses of everything, is get a microphone and a bunch of random friends and family and scream in their face for an hour and a half. So, it goes on as planned. So
it's funny. It's funny you say that, because in the comment section, man, I don't know if you can see it or not. Kevin, you were going to tap on that, I guess. It said there's a couple people that already posted, can't wait to hear the new material. 12 Stones has helped me get through a lot of tough personal times, someone wrote just a few seconds ago. But it leads me to a question I'd like to ask is, like, when you're approaching writing this record, this new record and this new music, what is it like being sober now and doing that? Is it something that you're nervous about? Is it, obviously it's new, right? It's something different than previous attempts. How did you approach that?
Well, I guess I really didn't realize after all the years of touring and playing live how bad my social anxiety actually is. I'm normally the one that's out there, dancing and, trying to make a fool of myself. So really the first time I played a live show in a long time where I didn't have any drinks or anything, I was terrified. And I didn't realize that I was using that as a coping mechanism to become the character that was the version of me on stage. So that was a little bit of a difficult transition. I was having a lot of panic attacks and anxiety. And, as most addicts do, I never really considered it a problem. I was like, I only drink when I go on stage to kind of loosen up. But the amount that I consumed was far beyond that any human should have ever attempted. So I'm happy I made it out, on the other side. I had a lot of good friends that struggled the same that I did. And honestly, the reason I got sober is someone very close to me almost died from alcohol and stress. And so it really opened my eyes. And I won't name any names, but it was someone I treat, I hold very dear to myself. And when I saw that happen, and that person's only a year older than me, I was like, man, I'm going way harder and doing way more dumb stuff than they are. So let me figure out what I need to do with my life. And, it's hard when people tell you, like, oh, you got me through so much, when internally I was constantly struggling with so much. And, I use my own words and I don't really pay attention to them as much as I should have. And, it keeps me going knowing that people say things like, 12 Stones got me through a lot of good stuff, because we try to write from the heart. We try to write about what we know. There's always that big dilemma. Everyone says, oh, 12 Stones, Christian band. And it's like, the reality of it is we were never a Christian band, but our record label saw a way to make money off of selling us as a Christian band. So it was always a tough thing to do when people were like, oh, you're not a Christian band. Well, I'm not going to listen to you again. It's like, well, you were 5 minutes ago, you were saying that the music meant something to you. Like, so to me, I have my beliefs, and I have my belief system, but I don't feel that it's my job to lead anyone anywhere. I have my own demons and my own issues that I have to deal with. I'm by far not a spokesperson for how life should go. So, it's been a transition to find myself again. When I got sober, the first couple months, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know how to do normal daily stuff without pouring myself a drink, or, loosening myself up. And I had a reason for everything. It was like, oh, well, I got to go deal with people in the grocery store. So let me throw one back real quick, or I got to go do an interview, or I got to do this. So, that was the most challenging thing, is I felt I lost my identity, but in fact, I just was having to rediscover, the things that I like to do. I quit playing music. I quit doing everything. I just sat there I kind of quarantined myself before it was what was happening. I realized when quarantine started, I'm like, this is just what I do normally. Like, this this isn't different for me. I would go to work. I was working at a restaurant, and I would go to work and come home and stare at the wall and wait till I had to go back. And then finally I just like had enough of it and decided, I'm here for a reason. I love making music. I shouldn't stop just because I lost my sense of self and where I needed to go. So
sometimes it takes taking that step back and just looking at yourself and everything around you from the outside. I think that, like I said, I think it's awesome. Congrats.
Thank you, man. It definitely, I feel like a new man. It's nice to be able to have a conversation that I can remember. And that was always the hardest part, is people would come to shows and I'd have deep conversations with people, and then, I'd run into them down the road and they'd be like, man, that really meant a lot what we were talking about at that show. I'm like, when did we play there? Like, it just kind of, everything was a blur. And I've forgotten more great times than most people get a chance to live. So I don't want to take that for granted anymore. I want to be able to remember all the beautiful things in life that I've been given and try to make the best of it and help other people that are in similar situations. Because it's a dark, crappy place to be when you feel alone and trapped where you have to have something that's tearing you down. You have to have it to feel like to get out of bed in the morning and stuff like that. So.
I lost track of how many 12 Stone shows I've been to that I didn't remember.
Same here. Same here. I see pictures all the time that I'm like, well, that's me, but when were you there?
Right.
So, was that photoshopped?
Right.
Is there anything for people that are listening to you, man? Like you say, your music's helped people get out of dark places before. Maybe they're listening to this right now. Was there anything specific that helped you get through that transition into sobriety that maybe you could turn some people onto?
Honestly,
dig down deep in yourself.
Yeah, I think the thing that got me was I finally made the decision. I'm stubborn, I'm hard-headed, I'm loud, I'm abrasive, but I finally just got to the point, because I always told myself, like, I'll just stop when I want. I was lost in the thought that I had control over the situation and the belief that I was in control. And I enjoyed the social aspect. I enjoyed being the idiot that did all the things. You won't do it. I was the guy that if you wanted somebody to do something stupid, all you got to do is tell me I won't do it, and it was done. And I enjoyed the attention I got from that. But once that went away, I realized that's pretty much all I've become was, the jackass. And I felt like, honestly, one of the things that really helped me out was hearing from other people that are going through it. I went to AA meetings, and it wasn't really my thing, but I embraced the other people's issues and what they were going through, and that really helped me realize, like, hey, I'm not special in this. Like, I'm a person that struggles and a person that needs guidance and help just like everyone else. And it's easy to write down things you're going through and put a positive spin on it and turn it into a song for some people, but it's a whole different thing to really take that in and kind of take your own medicine. So when people would say things like, man, this one song got me out of a hard time, that's what fueled me to be better for those people. Like, I helped you out of a time that I couldn't help myself out of. So maybe I need to just take my own medicine and start asking for help and understanding that I'm not as cool and as in control as I think I am.
Very well said, man. Very
Absolutely.
well said. Yeah, I hate the internet. I hate going to the internet. Unless you got something else, Kevin, man. I don't know. I appreciate Paul taking the time to jump on here with us, man. And when the new music is ready, we'd love to hear it. We'll definitely play it on the show, man.
Yeah, we got it. We got a couple more weeks, and we're gonna make an announcement in the next few days about the first single release. It's coming up pretty quick, but we'll definitely make sure you guys have a copy of that for the show. And I'm trying to be much more active on all our socials and all that stuff, so you can always check in on our Facebook, Instagram, all those things to kind of keep up with us. And we're excited about this. It's good new thing we're pushing out. So yeah, like I said, we're gonna have new merch coming up very soon. We're gonna have the new 2 EPs coming out pretty much back to back. Just gonna waterfall songs as we get them done and pump them out there, and just want to thank everybody for almost 2 decades of love and support and having our back. And yeah, man, we can't wait to see what happens next.
Well, I know you're going to want to hear this one if you can't see it. Robert Santora says, "Love you, brother. We're all proud of you."
Man, Rob's my dude, man.
Yeah.
Zinc, they're a great band from Louisiana, man. They're killer. Me and Rob that's my boy right there. I got obviously representing the Wildfire.
I saw that. I was wondering if Taylor paid you.
No, man. I've been talking to old Taylor with Riding with Killers, and we got some special stuff coming up with that too. So
awesome. That's awesome.
Let them break that down. But yeah, man. I love what all my people are doing. Rob, my boy. I was in town in Louisiana and Mississippi last week, and we had a good day at the pool at the old Golden Nugget. So it was good to catch up with my dude.
Awesome. Well, Paul, I miss you. I can't wait to see you again. Share some old stories. I was going to tell one of them, but I think we'll hold off on that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't verify if it happened or not either way. So, you know.
Well, this one, okay, now I'll tell it. You probably can verify it.
All right, let's go.
He froze in mid-sentence.
All right. So I came over from the radio station. It was one of the first shows you guys did at the House of Blues. And you and I took a stroll down Bourbon Street. And I went into Tropical Isle. Bought 2 hand grenades. Came out to you. I was like, why don't you come in? Why don't you come? I got you a hand grenade. And you're like, I'm not 21. I was like, fuck.
Yeah. We played it upstairs, downstairs there in Biloxi.
Yep.
And I got let known right out of the bat that I would not be drinking, and I didn't drink at that time. I didn't drink till well into our career, and I had the huge X's on my hands, and I found some old pictures from that, and it's literally the X's come from like my thumb all the way down. And the manager at the time let me know that there would be repercussions if I was caught holding a cup. And I'm like, I don't drink. You don't have to worry about me, man. Yeah, I was telling that story last week to my girlfriend. So
awesome. Well, thank you very much. Glad to see you. Glad to get some new stuff from you, and can't wait.
Awesome, man. Thanks for having me. And I'm always around. So anytime you want to do it again, let me know.
Sounds good, man. Thanks a lot.
All right, brothers.